Hello and welcome to Sweet Home California. My name is Jennifer, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on our little well saga. So, a couple days ago, woke up and there was absolutely no water pressure, no nothing. And I went out and checked all the usual things. Did we exceed our capacity to draw water? Did the well run dry? Did we leave a tap open and it just hadn't had time to recharge? And it turned out that our the booster pump was shot. So called around to a bunch of different local folks and found out that the cost would probably be somewhere around in the neighborhood of $25 to $3,000 just to replace that pump. The pump itself is anywhere from $2,500 to get it locally. I could get it as cheap as $900 for a used one on eBay, but that of course would have taken about a week to come to us. And what happens if it didn't work? Then it's going to take us even more time. So locally, that was our option. Did not budget for that kind of expense. When people say that, oh well, you've got well water, you don't have to pay money for you don't get the water bill every month or every quarter like you do if you're on city water. Well, that's true, but you're responsible 100% for all the maintenance. And we're not used to wells, so we didn't know all the different things that you need to be on the lookout. It was just like, okay, well, turn on the water comes out, everything is good, right? No, that's not right. There are things that we should have been doing, and I wanted to kind of tell you all what we learned about this lesson here in trying to get this working again, what we could have done to prevent it. So that pump is a very good pump that we had. It's Flint and Walker, I believe, is the manufacturer of it. So 20 years wouldn't be out of the ordinary for it. And at this point, it was probably about 17, 18 years old. So there's normally a cause for a pump to die, not just in and of itself. So according to the people I was talking to, asking them about fixing it, they said, well, check out some of these other things. The contact points, there's a place where, there's no power to it. And then when your pressure drops below a certain amount, then these contacts go together and then it gives power to the pump, and that pump then turns on. It turns on full bore when it's needed. And then when it reaches the pressure that you have set with your water pressure tanks, then it turns off. So we have a 119-gallon water pressure tank, and it was supposed to like absorb all this extra water and then on demand brings it into the house at a set water pressure, and is supposed to have enough capacity that that pump doesn't have to be pumping, cycling on and off frequently. So we checked out the contact points. The contact points were bad. They were making contact when they should have been making contact, and that was causing the motor to continually run. Well, what was causing the contact points to go bad? Well, go to the water pressure tank. The water pressure tank is this big metal tank that has a bladder in it, and there's supposed to be air on top, and then the water gets forced in below, and it makes that bladder get smaller. There's more pressure on it, and then as you draw out the water from the well or from your tap, then that air pressure that's up here is supposed to then forces the water back out, so you maintain constant water pressure. That bladder that separates the water from the air can develop a leak over time, and we didn't realize it. And so that bladder was completely shot. There was water coming out of it. There's a little air nozzle on top, like for a bicycle pump, and you can test that occasionally. You have to do it when it's not under pressure. So what you do is you turn off your pump, you let all the water out, and then you can put a gauge on there, and it will tell you what your pressure is in that bladder. Ours was at 5% or 5 psi. It's supposed to be like between 26 and 35 psi. Additionally, and that having such a low psi there, water was coming out of that little air nozzle. That means that it's shot. You can't fix it at that point. So for some time then, our pump had been having to pull constantly. Whenever we were running water, that pump had to be running constantly because we had no water pressure tank. So how expensive are those? Well, for a 119-gallon water pressure tank, you're looking at somewhere around $1,200. So $1,200 for that, about $2,500 for the booster pump and the contacts having to also be replaced. That was about just like a $15, $25 part. So no water. What do? You can't just wait around. I cannot believe how much you just depend on having water. When we were up in upstate New York, we had 2 weeks where we were without power, but we always had water. And here I am, I'm trying to be, self-sufficient as possible. I'm trying to, we have backup solar batteries. We have backup food. We do have some, backup drinking water. But being able to take a shower, being able to wash your dishes, being able to, um, all sorts of things that you use water for, wash the clothes, of course. All those things stopped for the last 48 hours until we got everything back up and running. But I just want to say I really appreciate our neighbors. And we've got some folks around here that just are so giving. And so I was calling around again, trying to find information from people who have been on wells longer than us. We have a neighbor who's been on a well since the 1970s. And we also have like a contractor neighbor who has access to getting like water pressure tanks and things like that occasionally. So we asked him, hey, do you have any of these that we might be able to buy off of you? And God bless him. He had a pump and he had the water pressure tank. And he said, here, just have them. And I could not believe our good fortune, and I hope God shines upon him and his family and blesses him. So anyhow, if he ever needs a sign, he knows that he can come to me, and I will be happy to do that for him. But I just wanted to put that out there for those of you that may be thinking, be self-sufficient, go out in the country, go get yourself a well, and then that's all you need to do. No, that's not all you need to do. You need to make sure that you are maintaining it. And those are some of the things that you need to look out for is that water pressure tank is so crucial. And if your well house is, off your beaten path on your property that you don't go to buy it very often, you should be checking that. You should probably be checking it daily and making sure that your booster pump is not running constantly. If it's running constantly, you've got a problem. To be preventative, maybe once a month, drain out that water tank, the water pressure tank, so that you can put your little gauge on there and make sure that it's still reading the pressure you expect it to, which, as I said, probably should be in like the 25 to 35 PSI range. So anyhow, I hope that is helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever had any well catastrophes and how you adapted and overcame on that. And what other things should we be thinking about stocking up? I'm already thinking trying to find another booster pump just in case this one ever goes out, another pressure tank, if you could find those. But also, we have another pump that is down in the well. I can't even imagine if that were to go out, how we would take care of that in a grid, apocalyptic type of situation, because we would have to get that out of the casing and stick another pump in there. And I have no idea what pump is in there. So to be able to match one for one, I have no idea what's in there, because we didn't install it. But anyhow, going through this process, we've learned a lot more about our well system, and I hope you've learned a little bit too in watching this. And God bless, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you for watching.